Where are we? What is this place? This isn't the woods.
Hello everyone, and welcome. This is going to be a little bit different. We've emptied out our storage container. We no longer need it. We managed to get everything into the new place. And I figured, before we turn over the keys, why not do something different and spend a night in here? So that's what we're here for. I've got my big cot, and I'm going to set that up in here. I've got Lucy's bed. I'm going to set that up, and we're going to spend the night. So here's my big cot from Woods. I bought this years ago when I was still doing a lot of car camping. Since then, about the only time I've used it is whenever I'm sick. I pull this out, set it up, and lay on it in the living room so I can watch TV. And honestly, in the last 5 years, I think I've used it twice. Let's see if I can remember how to set this thing up. Helps if the strap goes on the right side. Now I feed these bars through this hole at the end here. Here's the other bar. I feed it through this loop. First I make sure it's the proper way. Now there's holes in this bar that match up with the little grooves that are over at the end here. That one's in. That one's in. Cot is ready to go. Now when I'm using this cot, I usually use, this is a big sleeping mat. It's self-inflating. And it fits very tight into this bag. Now I open up the dial and let it start to inflate. Lucy doesn't take up a whole lot of room. So I brought my closed cell foam mat. I'm going to fold it in half. I just lay that in this corner. Because this door has little gaps on either side, and whenever it rains, there's a little bit of water, not even water, just moisture on the floor in the two corners. Here, let me grab the camera, I'll show you. There's a bit of moisture in this corner, and it seeps in under the door, and it stays in this corner. As long as we stay towards the back here, we're fine. And because of the gaps in the door, I think I can set my alcohol stove close to the door, and there'll be enough ventilation. We'll be okay in here. Not that I'm going to be burning the alcohol stove all day long. It's just mostly for coffee in the morning and maybe a bit of breakfast. So let me finish setting up Lucy's bed. We got her big bed from home. And I've got the sleeping bag that my sister repurposed for me. She put snaps on it so that I can close it up halfway. I can still use the zipper, so if it's really cold, I can open it up and Lucy can get inside. But I'm not expecting it to be cold tonight. I'm actually really warm right now. I'm going to take my jacket off. So this mattress, it's old. It doesn't blow up quite like it used to. I had to use breath to actually put air in it. But now I've got my sleeping bag. And seeing as we're close to home, I brought the pillow off my bed. Tonight, we shall camp in comfort. I brought this milk crate from home with a cutting board, my cook kit, my alcohol, and a fire extinguisher. Figure if I'm going to use the alcohol in here, at least I'm ready for whatever happens. For now, I can flip that upside down, move it towards the side of the bed, and now I've got a nightstand. I was thinking I might have a cup of tea a little later tonight, but I may not because it's quite warm. But we'll definitely have coffee in the morning. We're going to spend a night in a storage container. Eh? We're going to spend a night in a storage container? So all this week, they've been calling for a ton of rain this weekend. And I had the opportunity to come and spend a night here, and I figured I'd take the chance. Because Monday we're bringing back the keys. We won't be needing this anymore. But with all the rain they were calling for, we got a good storm this morning. And then showers, drizzle most of the afternoon, on and off. It's just picking up again. When I looked before coming this evening, they said there was going to get some rain this evening, possibly into the night. All the rain we were supposed to get tomorrow has been pushed to Monday. But with the rain on this thing, should make for an interesting night's sleep. My car is parked just outside the door here. Once it gets just a little darker, I'm going to fire it up and park it along the side here so that it's out of sight from the road. And then I'm going to walk over and close the gate, just so that any traffic going by, it's not going to look like anybody's in here. They're not going to come and inspect because the gate's open. If the police happen to go by, they're not going to come check it out because the gate's wide open. Not that I'm breaking any laws, I just really don't feel like explaining to them what it is exactly that I'm doing. I mean, what's wrong with spending a night in a storage container? It'll be different. So obviously, whenever I close the door here, it gets dark in here. I grabbed a couple of bungee cords from my car, and there's a hook by the door, and there's a bunch of hooks above the bed. I brought a coat hanger, and this is a light that I bought last year to try. It's supposed to work as a bug light and get rid of the bugs in an area. Yeah, tried that. Doesn't really work. Kills a few, but not enough. But it has a flashlight, a dimmer light, a strobe light, and then just a room light. So I figure if I turn that on and hang it, when the door's closed, it should give me just a little bit of ambient lighting in here. Not sure how long that battery will last, but we'll get whatever time we get. I also brought 2 headlamps. So, worst comes to worst, if this battery dies, I could also hang a headlamp up there. We'll see how it goes as the night progresses. Well, it's coming down pretty good now. I think maybe I'll close this door and test out this light. Maybe I should have turned the light on. There we go. It's not super bright, but it gives us just a little bit of ambient lighting. Should do the trick. I looked at the weather network. The temperature overnight, nothing's getting any colder than about 9 degrees Celsius, so shouldn't be cold. This sleeping bag is good down to minus 10 Celsius, so I'll be alright. Lucy's bag is good for about the same. And she's got enough layers underneath her that once she's in there, she'll be fine. Gonna be an interesting night. Not a whole lot to do in the storage container, so I brought a book. I brought a little bit of wood. I might do some carving, I don't know. I haven't decided. I think once this rain lets up a little more, I'll move my car around to the side and go lock the gate. Because they did say there was going to be some heavier rain later in the evening. And I really don't want to get soaked before I have to go to bed. Yeah, it gets pretty loud. Ah, that's okay. Hey, that's okay. It's all good. So everywhere I look around here, there's motion lights, cameras. over there. Another one down there. There's lights on the corner there. Lights on there. Lights over there. Should be an interesting night. Come here. You're fine. Come on. This isn't kicking you off. I was trying to get comfortable. Come on. Over here. Okay, on that side. I was just trying to get comfortable. That's all I was doing. Yes. So after seeing how many cameras are around here, I guess once it gets really dark, we'll have to minimize our movement. No, we'll see what happens. So I've gone over and locked the gate, and I've moved my car to a spot where it's a little less conspicuous. It's almost time to close this door and shelter in for the night. Weather Network has just issued a severe thunderstorm watch. Possibilities of 50 millimeters of rain within an hour. And hail about 3 centimeters in diameter. So about that big. We'll have to see. We're going to be fine in here. Don't think the hail is going to go through the steel roof. It may get a little loud. Lucy may cuddle up to me in the sleeping bag because she doesn't like storms anymore, but we'll be okay. Doesn't look like it's bothering her much right now. She's laying on her bed. Well, the rain seems to have stopped. So far, no big storms, no hail, nothing to worry about. We've just been sitting here and snacking on some mixed nuts. Nothing very eventful going on. It is cooling down just a little bit. But that's to be expected, it always does in the evening. But I think I'm just going to put on this extra shirt. And this should be just about enough for now. And this is pretty much going to be the extent of our evening. Sitting around. I may read my book. Nothing really eventful. I just thought it would be different to sleep in a container. Hey, be something different. Come on. Good girl. Something we haven't done yet. Something new. Can you hear that thunder? Low rolling thunder. It's been doing that for just a few minutes now. But I think it's moving away from us. The rain just stopped and now it's starting up again. Who knows what's going on? Come up. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. But just with this little shirt, I'm fine. So it's not cold. I guess we'll see what happens with this storm. The orange light that I hooked up, yeah, I hadn't charged it in a while. It's already dead. I took out my 2 headlamps. Apparently the last time I used them, when I stuffed them in the backpack, something was pushing them and turning them on. They're both dead. Luckily I've got the light that I film with. I do all the editing on my phone, so without light in here, I've just been starting to edit the video. So by the time the video is done, half of it will already be edited. Well, we're not going to be much longer. Soon it's going to be bedtime. I brought a pair of track pants. I'm going to pull off these jeans and put my track pants on when I go to bed. I brought an extra little sweater in case I need it, but I don't think I'm going to need it. It's going to be warm enough. Once I get under the sleeping bag, I'll be fine. I'll make sure Lucy's under her sleeping bag. Worst comes to worst, this cot's big enough. I'm pretty sure she can cuddle into the sleeping bag with me and be fine. But she's just been laying on top of the sleeping bag and she feels warm, so we'll be okay. Oh. Maybe that storm changed directions. Almost sounds like it's getting closer. I don't want to open the door though, because I don't want to activate the motion sensor cameras. It's really coming down now. I kind of wish I could open the door. Pretty loud in here. I was editing the video and I had to stop because I couldn't hear it anymore. Well, it's a lot quieter now. It only lasted a couple of minutes. But that was loud. Wow. But that's pretty much how it's been all evening. It rains, it stops, it rains, it stops. A bit of thunder, it stops. Lucy's all tucked in. Now it's my turn. Got my pajama pants on. Take the hat off. Good night. See you all in the morning. Morning, everyone. Well, that was a good night's sleep. Uneventful. After I turned the camera off, the storm stopped. Shortly after. The rest of the night was quiet, other than traffic going back and forth down the road. So I think this morning I'm gonna go and move my car back close to the door here and reopen the gate. And that way it's just gonna look like I'm here doing something in my container. And then we'll settle back in here and get some coffee and make some breakfast. Hey Lucy, how did you sleep? Good. So I've opened the gate and I've got my car parked right in front of the door here. What I'm going to do, I brought my chair last night, but this cot is high enough that it was very comfortable to sit on, so I didn't bother setting up the chair. When I light the alcohol stove to boil my water, I'm going to raise that door just a little bit. It wants to fall. So I'm going to raise it and just wedge my chair underneath it, and that'll give us a little bit more airflow in here. Already grinded the coffee, it's ready to go. And I brought my to-go mug. So now, let's get things going. Brought my coffee filter, which will go on the to-go mug. Pork. Now here's something a little different. I had showed you this rack with only 2 coat hangers. Well, now I made a third one. So now I have the option of opening it up like this to set the pot on, or I can turn one of these around and open it this way for a bigger pot. So we're going to be trying that this morning. And I saw these online and I decided to order them. I put the key ring on myself, but it's a small keychain ferro rod. And then right on the end, there's a very small scraper. All of my other cook systems, all my other stoves and stuff, they all have a ferro rod in with them. These came in a pack of 3 for $13 and change. With tax, it came up to just under $15. So I put one on my keychain, so it's always on me. This one is going to stay in that cook set. And there's a third one that I put on the lanyard of my neck knife. I've got some orange paracord at home. The small striker is so small, as you saw, I dropped it. What I want to do is put just a small loop of paracord so that when I remove it, I can have my finger through that paracord so that if I drop it, it's not going anywhere, it's staying on my finger. And it's orange, so the orange paracord will make it a little easier to spot if I do drop it. But we're going to try and light the alcohol with that this morning. So there's our stove. Now, yes, I put a lot in there, but I'm hoping to try and cook breakfast as well. After I tighten the cap down, I always shake it over the stove. That way it'll empty out whatever's in there. So there's that little scraper and ferro rod. And it's lit. Put our little stand above it. some water in the kettle. Let's get that on there. It's not exactly windy in here, but I'm hoping that by keeping that around, it'll keep the heat there and get it to boil just a little faster. We have a rolling boil. And look at that beautiful flame. And of course, I didn't bring my gloves. Let's see if we can't hook this with my spork, because the one thing I didn't think of when I made that is it's a bit too high for the frying pan. Get a little bit of oil in there. And I brought some breakfast sausage. So let's see if this thing will cook. While those are cooking, I'll start pouring the water for my coffee. Those are nicely cooked. And I didn't bring a plate, so I'm just gonna throw everything into the other pot and eat out of there. Sausages are all cooked and the stove just went out. Just when I was about to put in the eggs. Let's hope the oil is hot enough. And that would be a no. Okay, so we'll move that pan. Yeah, it's nice and cool. That's the nice part, is when it goes out, it doesn't take very long for it to cool. There we go. And of course now the stove's warm, so it won't be very long it should bloom. Let's dig these two little shells out of here. There we go. Well, may as well put the other one in right away and let them all cook at the same time. See, I knew these nuts were a good idea. They make a perfect little garbage can. Alright, let's see if we can do this crazy attempt. Oh, beautiful. Who needs a spatula? Nope, stay. Move. I gotta share a few pieces with Lucy. There you go. Good girl. We have our sausages. We have our eggs. And a beautiful cup of coffee. Ooh. Which is still quite hot. Time for some breakfast. Oh, those are beautiful. Oh, perfect. I'm going to eat breakfast and watch the last little bit of this alcohol burn out. Breakfast was delicious. So was the coffee. But I think we're going to end things here. It's time to go. We want to thank you all for coming along. Always a pleasure having you with us. We always have a good time. And if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. When you do, there'll be a drop-down menu. In that menu, select all, and that should let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.